Oh, welcome to Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and Music is a Day Job is brought to you by the Concert app. The Concert app is an artist accelerator app that takes artists from opener to headliner to on tour, gives the fan the best experience in independent live music. Now, today's question is, I get this from a lot of artists. They'll hit me up and be like, well, the person said I should do it for publicity. I know we've all heard it. We've all heard, yeah, just do it for publicity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here's the thing I'll say about that. Doing it for publicity. um, that's different than like selling tickets and doing stuff, or even the pay to play method, which, I'm not a fan of. But doing it for publicity is just like the transfer of, like, for instance, like, I'll go do this show and I'm just going to do it, and it's for publicity for what I'm going to get from being at the show that this person supposedly has set up for it. And a lot of times this happens to established artists that are kind of more like, for instance, like, I don't want to use myself, but I'll just say, like, an artist that has, like, I guess you could say, like, let's say at least 150 fans in an area, and they can go do shows and make some money, or they can go do the publicity route. Inside that, like, I'm gonna tell you the 100% truth, because in my career I've seen it all. But the gist of doing it for publicity is two ways to this. The first thing, just like Jay Main said, you got to do your research. Do your research. Like, you got to do your research, and do your research on what the publicity is. That's the first step of this, like, who this person is that's asking you to do this. You have to ask yourself, what could you get from this, like, situation? And now, so this doesn't say don't do anything for publicity and stuff like that, because there's things you need to do for publicity that you just need to be at, that you just need to show out for. And inside that idea, you want to be like, first step, figure out who it is. Is this a credible situation? Second step, what's the benefit that you gain from it? Okay, so those are the two steps you're looking at out the gate. Now, when I'm looking for credibility, I don't go to people's Instagram pages just to find them. Because I see dudes post some crazy stuff. They have crazy numbers. They got pictures with all famous dudes, all this stuff like that. Credibility is, start looking at the people that have gotten this offer before. So if you see people, like, at shows that they have shows that they've tagged in it and stuff like that, look at those artists, reach out to them, see what they say. That's a good way to start making, but don't just do one or two, because then sometimes someone could just have, like, a bad experience. You want to do, like, I'd say, like, 5 to 10 people. Reach out and just see what their experience was with the situation, just so you can get the full, like, how valid is this situation. Second, as I said, what's the benefit you're gaining from it? This is debative of your situation and your like, where you're at musically. To do something for publicity, if it's a valid situation, a lot of times that it can make sense, because more than likely, if it's valid, that means you are getting eyes. That means you are, like, you're putting yourself in a place to find fans. And as I always talk about in every video, the main thing is finding fans. So you always have to understand, if this is a situation that you're going to be able to gain fans in, you might want to take it, because this puts you around new people. And unless it's the same people that you already have or whatever you've been in front of, more likely it's not your fan base. If if you already have established fan base. So if you already have established fan base and these are new people that are coming, then get in front of them. Give them a little sample, a little taste test, so then the next time they will become your fan, and they'll pay to be in front of you. Now, some people, like, different things are publicity wise. Like people ask you to get on podcasts, people ask you to, you know what I'm saying, like promo some stuff, whatever. Like if you agree with it and it's something that can help you and benefit you, do it for publicity. I think people get it in their mind that, oh, I'm not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I see people and they be like, they'll write up on their page like, I don't do nothing for publicity. Anything that did it. And then I see them miss a lot of opportunities because some of these situations, it's not about like a transaction of payment. And so like you have to look deeper into it. Like there's shows that I would do that I knew I wasn't going to get paid because I just knew I just needed to get in front of them. Like I done driven 4 hours just to do one or two songs. But I need to get in front of those people. I need to get in front of those people that were throwing those tours. And so I'm driving 4 hours to get in front of those people so then they know my name and get in front of those crowds. Get in front of those crowds so then I can start gaining some more fans. And so I was willing to do that. But then I talk to dudes these days and you can't get them to come down the street. And it's like, yo, like you gonna miss everything. But see, that's because they don't have a blueprint in their mind of what their benefits are from doing things. So it's like, I done been on tons of radio shows that probably never came out, anything like that, but I just knew I needed the content. So then my benefit to it wasn't even the idea of that they were going to actually release some of this stuff or anything like that. If they do, well and great. They might not even have the biggest fan base on their page. I might have a bigger fan base on my page, and then I'm still doing it because one thing, I'm going to help independents because I'm an independent. The second piece of this is I'm going to do it because I can get content from this. I would go into radio shows and different podcasts and everything like that and get my own content from it. Because it looked cool. It's the whole content of like the content piece of it I can use. So then it shows me being more active. So then tons of this stuff, like you have to look at it from the point of like, how can I benefit from it? And if it's valid and you can benefit from it in some way that fits your career, why not? Because you're going to have to do it anyway. Like you're going to have to find you're going to have to find some type of content either way. So why not? You see what I'm saying? Like if it's not valid and then you can't find no benefit, then yeah, say no. You know what I'm saying? But then if you can find a benefit and it's valid, then get out there and do it. It's no reason to miss out because this is all things you were going to have to do either way. You see what I'm saying? So like, let me try to think of something else that someone has asked me to do. Now, one thing I will say, features is the one thing that I'm not that fond of, and that this has something to do with my career path that I was on. I always say my downfall is that I make a good amount of music, but I don't make a lot of music. So I make a good amount, but I'm very like strategic with how much and what I put out. So because in one moment in my career, when I first started rapping, I rap on everything. You rap on everything when you first start coming out. When you're a musician, you just start singing and rapping and doing everything. You know what I'm saying? The problem that I hit the wall with was that it was taking so much of my time. Then I got to a point where I was making money doing it. And I'm making money laying verses. And you can say that I kind of like just gave myself, just put myself on every track because I started making money. So then there's tons of tracks of me out there that I'm not proud of because I was just like doing every track that someone had the money. One day, this is how crazy this was. One day we did like, we probably did 20 tracks in like two to 3 days. And yeah, I'm not proud of a lot of them. But at that point, that's how I was making money. So it was what it was. After that moment, I stopped. And then I was kind of like, after I had been a part of some of these things, I was just kind of like, yo, I can't do that no more. And just me with my brand and my situation, I just didn't want to do that. So I never seen the benefit in it. Even if people say, man, the publicity, whatever, I just never seen that. So that's an example of one thing I feel that way. Now, you may feel that way about doing shows, or you may feel that way about something else. But then, as I'm saying, if it's valid and then you can find a benefit, go for it. So don't always just down it just because it's just publicity, because there's other things you can benefit from it that might not be directly what that situation is, but it could help you with what you're doing with your career and your blueprint to your success. So once again, this is Music as a Day Job, and this is brought to you by the Concert app. Now, the Concert app is in multiple states right now, multiple cities. In these states, if we're in your state, then get on the app. Well, everybody should just get on the app, because get on the app, see if we're in your state. If we're in your state, go to the Q2, the conference, because we're probably coming out there and we're going to teach you how to turn music into a day job and how to use this app. If we have shows there, start jumping on shows, start getting it popping. If we're not in your state and we're in, and you need us out there, then tell everyone to get on the app and start adding it, because then I can see the demand, and that's how we can get out there quicker. If you have venues, if you have venues, definitely send them our way, because that makes it easier for us to put on shows and give you more opportunities to become successful. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, download the app. That's what this is all about. So download the app. This has been Music as a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and it's brought to you by the Concert app.